North Forsyth Sports Podcast, special edition.
Yeah.
Right now we're going to talk about the AFC Championship game.
Championship.
All right, Jamal, how you feel about it?
Well, first of all, we got to state the score. The score was 29-14.
24-19.
24-19, okay.
Which was the Steelers' way.
Yeah.
And the Steelers played like garbage this game. So did the Jets.
Well, I feel like the Jets didn't come out strong like they did the first two playoff games.
Nah, they did. Not in Pittsburgh.
They was kind of weak in the first half, you know.
They had no life at all.
They running game really didn't get off, did it, Steven?
Nah, their running game was terrible. LaDainian Tomlinson, he had 16 yards and 9 attempts. He averaged 1.8 yards.
I think it's time for the man to retire.
And actually, Ben Roethlisberger had more yards than him with 21 yards and a 1.9 average for every rush.
I feel like if you get one rushing yard in the first half, you're not going to win the game. LT, he should have stepped it up. The Steelers' defensive line did their job in the first half. But Mark Sanchez,
We're forgetting about how the fact that Thomason isn't the leading rusher. He's not even a starting running back.
He's not, but still.
But he's a role player.
He still sharing more rushing yards there, but he a veteran. He a veteran in this game. Like he been in the league longer than half of these running backs. You know what
He
I'm
should
saying?
have more than 16 yards.
Yeah.
If he wants to help his team win, though, that's all true.
But I feel like their defense really didn't do nothing either. Like, they couldn't stop Big Ben. He had that big touchdown.
Or Mendenhall. Mendenhall was a freaking beast.
Yeah.
How many yards at 124?
121.
The blocking last night on the offensive line for the Steelers, that was good.
It was phenomenal.
They were getting off.
You never hear that come out of my mouth for the Steelers, but they blocked last night. It was phenomenal.
Yep.
Because they still weak, you know what I'm saying? We got Super Bowl.
But then things turned in the second half. The Jets, they got it going that first drive. They scored.
Yeah.
Went for 19 unanswered
That kept them alive. I think that first drive kept the Jets alive.
Yeah.
But the big story about this, they got stopped on the 1 yard line.
I mean,
1 yard line.
Well, first of all, it was stupid play calling because he called a toss play on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. But it was kind of smart at the same time because they weren't expecting it, though. But they wasn't expecting it.
A toss takes a long time to develop because you're pulling guards or tackles or whatever, offensive linemen, that take a while.
True.
By the time they got to it, they was already tackled.
and then the other thing, it's on the Steelers defense. You can't run a toss on the Steelers defense. They got the best goal line defense in the league. They shut it down like they were supposed to. But my biggest factor is that the Steelers offense did not get going in the second half.
So did.
They couldn't score in the second half.
Had 3 sacks.
That secondary was crazy on him.
He had 2 picks, 1 pick?
He actually threw more than that, but you know what I'm saying? They was dropping.
I mean,
2 picks in the game.
Ben, he played like he do, but they couldn't get it going in the second half. They should have scored more. They should have kept the momentum and everything.
Well, they did lose their starting center.
I mean, yes, that's a big factor, but they lost him in the first half. You still should have kept going. You still got to keep it moving and everything. I think Hines Ward should have showed up more. He had two catches for 14 yards.
But he still did his thing though. I mean, everybody played their role. Like Troy Polamalu, fastest. I mean, he didn't get really no big hits, but he played his role. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he played his role. That was the biggest factor because in the first half, the Jets, they didn't want to throw the ball down the field like they wanted to because Troy played. Now last time they met, they was getting the 1-on-1 matchups with the wide receivers in the corner, and they threw the ball down the field because they knew Troy wasn't gonna come and help him out because he wasn't playing.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
But this game, Troy was there. They knew if they would have threw the ball down the field, they didn't know where he was at. He probably would have come up with a big pick for the game. So
yeah, but he didn't. So
I mean, it still don't matter though. He played his role. He was a threat. They couldn't throw the ball down the field, and they couldn't get.
You right.
So
they couldn't throw the ball down the field because Sanchez was overthrowing people.
I mean,
they was getting mad pressure. Like they was getting, but the defensive line did their job. They did put mad pressure on Sanchez last night because they was a young QB, so he gonna fold under pressure.
I mean, but he didn't fold though. He was 20 for 33 passes. He had 233 yards for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. To me, he played a good game.
He did.
He played a good game.
And on the Jets defense, they do have a good quarterback.
That's it. They should have got the ball to Santonio Holmes more. They tried to do that in the first half. Couldn't get it really going. But the second half, they got it going with his big touchdown play. Yeah. So, but none of the wide receivers, they couldn't step it up. Brandon Edwards should have catch more balls. He couldn't.
Too many turnovers. Mark Sanchez had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, he did. But still, though, that's not the point, though. He had 2 fumbles, but that's not the point, though. The receiver should have stepped up more. Should have catch the balls. The running game should have got going.
They couldn't make the plays when it came down to it. That's it.
Nah, that's all it was. I don't think they was prepared. But we're going to hit y'all back. So we about to take a break for the North Forsyth Special Day Sport Podcast.
We'll be right back.